Good evening, y'all. I'm Bobby H. Our top stories tonight. HEX Community raises $600,000 in 5 days to sponsor JJ Yaley at the NASCAR Daytona 500. This marks one of the largest community-funded efforts in NASCAR history. The HEX car will debut alongside other notable first-time NASCAR owners like Floyd Money Mayweather, Pitbull, and Michael Jordan. This now takes the field to 42 drivers and one of the most hyped Daytona 500 since 2007. The Godwell stakes 1 billion HEX worth $194 million for 5,555 days. This is the largest stake yet. What does it mean for the greater HEX community? The PulseX Sacrifice approaches its close, having raised over $1.1 billion so far. Will the OA step in? Our chief correspondent Blex weighs in. All this and more on QC News, back after this short break.
The network effect is a real thing. It's not a joke. Let's take HEX as an example. As more buyers join the product, the more valuable it is to those that already own the coin. As more buyers of HEX stake the coin, owners of said coin will have shorter wait times as higher prices will be available, thus making the network more valuable. And that, my friends, is literally how we're going to get rich.
Welcome to QC News. I'm Bobby H. Our top story began with a simple tweet by a community member named Agape HEX. A simple inquiry quickly gained traction, and within 5 days, the HEX community had raised over $640,000. Soon after, designs were released by NASCAR and the car went into production. For many in the racing community, 2022 marks a unique moment in NASCAR history. For the first time in over 60 years, the cars have undergone significant structural and technical changes. The next-gen cars, as they're known, are described as a paradigm shift for the sport. Experts suggest these changes are expected to help level the playing field and create more competitive and entertaining racing. Veteran JJ Yaley will be representing HEX.com in the number 55 car. And as if stakes weren't high enough already, HEX whale Rakim Rishel released the tweet earlier in the week pledging $1 million to the driver if he finishes in the top 3. After 2 successful practice sessions, Yaley will begin his quest for qualification at 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, February 17th. Tune in to Fox Sports 1 to cheer him on. Our next story highlights a prominent member of the HEX community. The notorious community member known as Godwell sent sparks through the HEX community today when he staked 1 billion HEX for the max stake length of 5,555 days and received over 149,000 T-shares. This stake is the largest and longest Quatro Cinco stake existing today, valued at over $194 million. Some observant community members quickly pointed out that this stake alone is worth more than all of El Salvador's Bitcoin to date. Illustrating the power of T-shares, this stake earns a whopping 900,000 HEX per day, which at today's rate is worth over $120,000. This stake alone took the average stake length up to 6.24 years, the longest it has ever been. We've seen the average stake length grow consistently, showing greater confidence in the HEX system. Congratulations to Godwell and to the broader HEX ecosystem as a whole. This is the definition of delayed gratification at its finest. Our final story this evening. As many of you know, the PulseX Sacrifice phase has been running for nearly 60 days and has raised over $1 billion for freedom of movement. The Sacrifice phase will close on February 25th at 6 p.m. Central Time, likely signaling one of the last major hurdles for the release of Pulse Chain Testnet v3. That said, Richard did release a tweet this week hinting at the possibility of one-sided staking of PulseX that has been very well received by the broader community. For more on this, we check in with our chief correspondent, Blex. Blex, what does this mean for us in simple terms?
Well, you see, Bobby, single-sided staking is one of the most popular features of PancakeSwap. It allows users to earn yield without exposing themselves to impermanent loss. Now, the details of impermanent loss are really not that easy to put into simple terms, so I'll spare you those. But what's important to us is that Richard Hart has done it again. He's created another passive income stream that also increases the utility and helps protect the price of PulseX. Exciting times ahead.
Exciting times ahead for sure. With that brings us to the end of our show for today. But before you go, please be sure to subscribe below, follow us on Twitter, and turn on post notifications for the most up-to-date breaking news coverage in the HEX community. Till next time, thank you for watching Quatro Cinco News. I'm Bobby H. Stay safe and stake long. Good night.
We like to think that people have things figured out because from a young age we're told that that's the case. But I mean, if you sit back and look around, we like to think that people have things figured out because from a young age we're told that that's the case.